Once you try homemade yogurt or homemade Labne, you will not go back to store-bought. And you only need 2 ingredients to make this at home: milk and yogurt with active culture. We're going to start by heating our milk on medium or medium high until it reaches boiling point. I like to rub the bottom of my pot with an ice cube to prevent the milk from sticking to the bottom and burning. I'm going to be using a gallon of milk because I want approximately a gallon of yogurt. You can use more or less. You can use 2% whole, 1%, or even skim milk if that's what you prefer. Now the purpose of this step is to pasteurize our milk. We want to heat it to the point where any potential bacteria that's in our batch is eliminated. We want to prevent that bacteria from competing with the beneficial bacteria that's in our culture. About 30 minutes in, you're going to begin to see bubbles forming on the surface of your milk. So your milk is now approaching its boiling point. If you're using a thermometer, that would be 180 degrees Fahrenheit or 82 degrees Celsius. You're going to continue heating it from this point on medium or low for 1 more minute. And then you're going to turn off and let it cool to 115 degrees Fahrenheit or 46 degrees Celsius. Now I'm not using a thermometer. I'm going to use the traditional method. I'm going to insert my finger and see if I can tolerate it for 10 seconds. But first, I like to touch the pot and see if it's too hot, then I'm not ready to insert my finger. Okay, that was fine. So now I'm going to insert my finger and see if I can tolerate it for 10 seconds. We want to make sure that we thoroughly wash our hands with soap and running water. We don't want to contaminate our batch. Now that the milk has cooled, I'm ready to add my live culture. So this is yogurt that has active live culture. You want to make sure that's on the label when you purchase it. And you also want to make sure that you get plain yogurt. Scoop a little bit of milk into your culture. Whisk really well. And then insert your culture into your milk. Now the bacteria can get to work making yogurt. Give it a gentle stir. And now we need to incubate, keeping our batch above room temperature so the bacteria can undergo fermentation. For this, I turn my oven light on and place my pot in my oven with the setting off, so only the light is on. And then leave it in your oven with the light on, setting off, anywhere from 8 to 24 hours. I'm ready now to remove my batch. I let it incubate for 16 hours. And here's the result. The liquid on top is the whey. I usually stir that in. But now I'm going to extract it because I want to show you the consistency of the yogurt. Now because I like my yogurt to have a tangy taste, I let it incubate for 16 hours. If you like it really sour, you can go up to 24. And if you don't like the sour taste in your yogurt, you want to incubate it for 8 hours. Look at the creamy and buttery consistency of that yogurt. And that hasn't even chilled yet. I'm going to scoop a few spoons of my yogurt into a small container. This is going to be the culture for my next batch. So you only have to buy culture once, and then this is what we'll be using next time we make yogurt. Now, if all you want is yogurt, then you're done. You can put it in the fridge and let it chill for 4 hours. But if you want Greek yogurt or Labne, you have one more step. I want to convert half of my yogurt into Labne, which has a little bit of a thicker consistency than Greek yogurt. So I'm using this Greek yogurt maker to strain my yogurt. For Labne, I'm going to leave it in there for about 8 hours. But if you're looking for Greek yogurt, you want to let it strain in here for about 4 hours. And it'll collect the whey at the bottom. And the yogurt is going to go in the fridge to chill for about 4 hours. And this is what it looks like after it has chilled in the fridge for about 4 hours. Look how thick and creamy that is. You don't even need a Greek yogurt maker with this method. You can just scoop up or extract some of the whey and then you have Greek yogurt. But the whey has many benefits. It's very high in protein, so I like to keep it. I like to mix it in with my yogurt. So I'm going to give it a good stir. Look at that creamy consistency. Now I'm just going to store this in a jar or a container and put it back in the fridge. My Labne has now been straining for 8 hours and it should be ready. And that's the consistency that you get after you let it strain for 8 hours and chill for about an hour. Now, because whey is a superfood, I'm not going to toss it down the drain. I'm going to save it in a jar. I blend a little bit of it in my smoothies, and sometimes I use it to make a yogurt drink. I blend a little bit of whey with a couple spoons of yogurt and some salt. That drink is usually served with meat pies. Now I'm storing my Labne in a different jar. It's so rich and creamy that it's scooping like ice cream. So now I have Labne, whey, the culture that I'm going to use to make yogurt in a couple of weeks, and yogurt. And you have so many yummy possibilities. I like to have my Labne with salt and olive oil, and I usually serve that with pita bread or za'atar pies. And I like my yogurt with a little bit of granola, fruit, and maple syrup.